Look at this dude.
Whoosh, poppin', everybody, welcome back to another video. Hey man, if you haven't already done so, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, smash the like button, click that bell while you're at it so you can be a part of the Post Doughty Gang family. Best family on YouTube, that's no cap, hands down. Hey man, look, actually, you know what? I'll do it in a little bit. I was about to say, before we go any further, get some snacks, get a drink, because this is a long reaction, y'all. If you guys end up making it to the very end, please let me know down below. And please don't be commenting, oh, made it to the end 2 minutes after uploading this video, because I know you didn't make it all the way through. You feel me? This video is going to be damn near an hour long, but this video is 45 minutes long that we're reacting to. So I'm going to try not pausing too much, because then that's really going to drag it out. But anyways, we are here for SML Universe, every SML video based off a real life event. So we are gonna do less talking, more reacting. Let's dive right into this video. Let's go.
This is every single SML video that's based off of a real life event, and today we're gonna be going over all of them, starting with SML Movie Jeffy Attacks the Judge. In this one, Jeffy steals a
something I wish I could do, but you can't.
Minecraft toy and ends up getting arrested for it. They take him to court, and bro just straight up jumps Judge Poopy. Not once, not twice.
I would say we've all been there before where we want to just jump the judge, but I'm gonna assume not all of y'all gotten locked up or anything like that. Yeah, but anyways, different story for me. Hate the judge
3 whole times, and he even ends up killing him. Then Judge Anthony has to step in, but Jeffy somehow kills him through the phone. It's a hilarious plot, but here's the thing. This whole thing was inspired by a real life event. On January 3rd, 2024, a guy named Deborah Ridden literally jumped a judge.
Yeah, I think I've seen this video on Facebook or something.
During his sentencing for felony battery. And yes, it was all caught on camera.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of something.
Felony battery. I don't know how much time you would have to serve if you actually got jail time if you're found guilty at trial, unless you take a plea deal, but I don't think it's that much time to where you gotta hop over the thing and attack the judge, Brody.
Else, because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
And he actually got a hold of her too, bruh. That's...
After Deborah did this, he would be sentenced to 26 to 65 years in prison, and would be charged with attempted murder along with other charges. Now,
oh damn, you in there, bro? You might as well wrap it up. You dying in that bit.
Mel probably saw this funny situation and decided to make a video mocking it, which I gotta say, created a really funny video. But what about SML Movie Jeffy Goes to a Diddy Party? This video centers around Diddy being sentenced for his crimes, but for some reason, the court gives him 24 hours to get his affairs in order. Instead of handling his business, Diddy...
I ain't gonna lie, if the judge is to give anybody time to get their affairs in order before they, pretty much to turn yourself in, bro, everybody going on the run. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie. Oh, I got 24 hours to get my affairs in order? Okay, I'll see you in 24 hours, judge.
Throws the biggest freak off ever.
Can you imagine like, if you know, like, you're about to go serve, like, 10 years in prison, bro, but you get 24 hours to get your affairs in order? Oh, going to a new country.
Junior, Jeffy, and everyone else crashing it. But here's where things take a dark turn. This video was actually based off a real-life event that isn't nearly as fun. Diddy was arrested on September 16th, 2024, for charges like naughty trafficking and racketeering. After further investigation...
She said naughty trafficking, I'm dead.
They discovered even worse things. His house was filled with thousands of bottles of baby oil, and for years, he's been hosting freak-off parties, which were really illegal, and disturbing things went down in them. On top of that, he has faced numerous civil lawsuits and accusations of unconsensual activities, assault, child abuse, and harassment dating that went all the way back to the 90s. It's a pretty unsettling real-life connection to a video.
It's just crazy how everything is just now coming to light when it comes to Diddy, bro. Like, it's just not, like, I'm surprised this didn't happen, like, way back when. You feel me?
No, that didn't look as bad as it really was to the average viewer. However, we are nowhere near done with the Diddy saga, because as of filming this video, SML recently came out with a part 2 to SML Movie Jeffy Goes to a Diddy Party. In the part 2 of this video, Diddy was found not guilty of all of his charges and was let out of jail. This made Brooklyn guy ask Marvin if he could go to the Diddy party he was gonna host after being released, and he wanted Marvin to sneak in with a camera to get evidence of Diddy
That shit was so funny, having the camera right on your head, bro. Like, oh, that's not a big giveaway, my boy.
doing these bad things again, so this time they could put him away for good. However, they would fail miserably at this, not getting any evidence. Now, this wasn't just a made-up plot. This actually happened really recently. As of July 2nd, 2025, Diddy was found not guilty of racketeering.
I did hear about the not guilty part. So, like, obviously he's still locked up right now, so they got him on other charges, obviously, but...
and 2 counts of naughty trafficking. His sentencing court date is gonna be on October 3rd, and he can be seen to face between 4 to 5 years in prison. And to make the situation even weirder, fans were outside the...
That's a big slap on the wrist from what he was facing. Like, he's still going to be rich when he gets out. He's still going to be known when he gets out. He's still going to be buzzing in 4 to 5 years, bro. Like, he's straight. He going to go do his 4 or 5 year bid, and then he'll probably get out early on good behavior. He'll probably be out in 2-3 years, bro. He going to be straight. Plus, he got time served right now. We'll see him in a couple years, bro.
courtroom celebrating with baby oil? And no, for those of you wondering, Diddy did not actually get released and walk free. That part was made up by Logan, but he was found not guilty on most charges.
Yeah, so he wasn't let free, which I figured.
The whole Diddy situation is probably one of the darker ones on this list. But while the Diddy situation is really just something, this next real-life event is based on something that happened to Logan. In SML Movie Attack of the Flies, Jeffy finds 2 flies mating on his bed. Yeah, definitely a weirder start to the video. Then, a swarm of flies started invading the house, and this would cause Marvin to call Jackie Chu for help, where Jackie Chu didn't want to help at first, until a fly started insulting his grandfather. This caused Jackie Chu to come over with a gun full
He came over with that blicky.
of salt. He would kill most of the flies, but have to call in his son Jackie too for backup. And finally, he used a fly swatter to kill the rest of the flies. Now, this plot was very weird, but
I ain't gonna lie, I used to have one of those zappers. It looked like a tennis rack, or yeah, tennis ball rack. But it zapped them. Like, it had like a static shock to it. But I used to have one of them. Them things are fun, bro.
real life event tied to the story is around in the middle of 2023, where the SML filming house was actually infested with termites. Now, if we had to guess, this was probably during the time where they were looking for a new cleaning lady, so they might have had some messes left out, and this caused termites to pile up, and became a big problem for the crew. So, SML has made some videos poking
Dang, that's actually tough, bro.
at some weird stuff before, including a pest problem they had. But they took it a step further by making
Man.
fun of
He mentioned that they had to get a new cleaning person. I bet you the last person ended up quitting because of how much cleaning they were having to do, bro. Because, you know, they be making a lot of messes making these videos, and they be breaking things and stuff like that. I can only imagine how much cleaning that person had to do, bruh.
actual crimes again, and these ones might be even worse. That brings us to the video SML Movie Jeffy Catches a Predator. In this one, Joseph starts chatting with some random dude online that claims to be in his 30s or 40s. Things get super sketchy when this person would send a full picture of his junk to Joseph, and to the surprise of no one, it turns out that this person is none other than EDP445.
Yeah.
He would end up getting arrested in this video, and from there, the rest of this episode turns into
What is EDP now doing nowadays? Because I know he tried doing a comeback, and like I think he like got on TikTok or something, Twitch or some ish like that. But other than that, you don't hear anything about EDP anymore, bruh.
Jeffy trying to catch other online predators, but every time he fails in classic Jeffy fashion. This whole video is clearly based off the real-life EDP445 cupcake incident from 2021. Basically, EDP had been messaging someone he thought was a year-old girl for months. Then, in April, he tried to meet up with her, but it turned out this would be a sting operation set up by a YouTube group called Predator Poachers. And when they confronted him, his now infamous excuse was that he was there to just pick up a cupcake. Clearly, no one bought it.
It is such a meme now, bro. It is such a meme. The whole cupcake thing is such a meme.
I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake.
A cupcake?
And then go back home.
And then go back home.
Let's be real here. Everyone could see that this whole thing was just a bunch of lies. Even the YouTubers knew what was up, since they had all the gross messages EDP sent as proof. Now, you'd think after all that, EDP would be done for good, right? Well, that definitely wasn't the case.
Because he got caught a second time, right?
Forward to 2023, and boom, he gets caught trying to meet up with a minor.
And this time with Gideon, I did a reaction, I forget which video it was I reacted to, but I didn't realize EDP got caught twice, bro, by YouTubers.
This time, it was the YouTubers Gideon and Skeeter Jean who had set him up. And get this, Gideon showed up in a cupcake costume.
I just want to know, why do you think we're here?
He said, "F you, man."
If you could guess, Brian, why do you think we're here? Could you answer me that, Bryant?
SML saw all of this and just...
Man, if I was EDP at that point, I would be so scared, because you know damn well he was probably still facing the other charges from the first time he got caught. So like now you get caught a second time, bro. Ooh.
2 months later, they made a video on him, and in a way would also make fun of predator catching channels who would sometimes fail at catching predators. The video would get really positive responses, with most fans liking the video. The EDP voice lines on the puppets are funny ASF. Now, let's talk about SML Movie Jeffy Breaks Marvin's Back. In this video, Jeffy, Junior, and the rest of the trio just wanted to swim, but Marvin, being a grumpy little goober, wasn't letting them.
A grumpy little goober.
So Jeffy would then proceed to wish that Marvin broke his back. After Cody mentioned that stepping on a crack breaks your mama's back, this would cause them to use an Uno reverse card. So when they step on the crack, instead of breaking Rosa's back, it would break Marvin's back. Now, that was the plot, but let's get to the good part, the real life event. Now, this video was actually based on Logan breaking his back, as the video posted before this one was SML Movie Jeffy's Fast and Furious. In this video, Logan was racing one of the cars, specifically his red 1,000 horsepower Chevy Camaro. And the reason
Damn, it's 1,000 horsepower? Holy that thing got power, bruh.
Would crash is because the tread on his tires burned off. So when he raced at the end of the drag strip, he wouldn't be able to brake, and his car would land in a ditch really hard. In this video, they didn't exactly reenact what happened, but would still make Marvin break his back to basically represent Logan's situation and shed some light on it. And when it comes to the fans, many of them quickly caught on to what the video was really about. I wonder what inspired this video. The fact that Logan dedicated this to himself is wild, but what about Logan?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if I ran any type of like plushie channel or animated channel, like cartoons and stuff, I would honestly just be animating and doing plushie videos of my life, bro. I could come up with so many storylines just based off my my actual life, bro.
Completely mocking obsessive fans. That brings us to SML Movie Jeffy and Junior's gold play button. In this video, Junior was making toy review videos to try to get a gold play button. Jeffy saw this and decided to join in to try to help. They tried to prank Chef Pee-Pee, but failed, and realized how hard it would be to truly get a gold play button. So they thought of no better idea than to try and steal Logan's golden play button. For the rest of the video, they would act like obsessive fans and attempt to steal their play button, but throughout the video, they failed miserably. And then at the end, they just straight up—
Man, one day, I don't know when, probably like in another 10 years from now, hopefully I get that golden play button. Hopefully one day.
Stole Logan's life.
I need y'all's help.
Brady. Now, the real life event related to this video is basically Logan making fun of fans that show up to his house at night, and also the obsessive fans who would behave a similar way that Jeffy did in this video.
And I reacted to this video as well, but damn, y'all fans are crazy sometimes, man.
Hello?
Are you Super Mario Logan?
Yeah.
The creator of Jeffy?
Yeah.
Where's the Jeffy puppet?
Lance has it.
Can I hold it?
Well, Lance isn't here right now.
Well, I saw his truck out front.
Okay, well, he's upstairs, but we're not using Jeffy today.
Okay, where's Junior?
I mean, I'm using him for a scene. We're trying
Can
to...
I hold Junior?
Well, we're trying to get a scene right.
Kids really don't give a fuck sometimes. They'll say whatever's on their mind, man. If they're on a mission to go meet Logan and hold these plushies, bro, they on a mission, bro.
Well, I can be in the scene. I'm the best at the scenes. I'll get one take.
Well, I mean,
It'll be a one take Timmy.
okay, well, we're trying to get.
Can I get a house tour?
I mean, we're not letting
Can
fans.
I live here?
Well, we're not letting fans inside the house because of the cough.
Well, I've already had it, so we're good. So, can I live here?
This video was super blatantly obvious that it was a shot at obsessive fans, so viewers would notice right away. I like how the cast is low-key roasting us. I love how they're basically dissing his type of fans. Just when you think these
Look,
SML
y'all, look, it's not him just dissing fans and stuff like that, but there's a, I wouldn't even call it a thin line. There are still boundaries to this. We're all still human. You feel me? Like Logan is human. Like, just like any other human, we don't want random people knocking on our door asking about coming in and this and that and the other. Like, when you're trying to live your life, the last thing you want is random people at your door. Like, that's not just Logan, that's everybody. You feel me?
videos can't get any weirder. Here comes SML Movie Jeffy's Gamergirl problem. And trust me, this one is really weird. So it starts with Marvin, Jeffy, and Rose watching the news. And there is this 21-year-old gamer girl who is somehow selling her gross bathwater for $250 a jar. Jeffy hears about this and immediately tells Junior and Joseph. Naturally, they decide that they need to get some, so Jeffy steals Marvin's credit card to buy it. Meanwhile,
I could never. I know there's a. I don't know if it's happening anymore. Not too long. I wouldn't say not too long. I would say about maybe a decade ago. I remember when girls was selling fart. They would fart in a jar and sell it, bro. Like who buys that?
Marvin orders a pizza, but in typical SML fashion, the bathwater shows up right before the pizza, and Marvin ends up accidentally getting it. Rose sees this, and immediately assumes that Marvin bought it for himself. And just like you would expect, she gets really mad at him. But it only gets worse. Jeffy also orders a stepped-on Gamergirl pizza, and of course, Marvin ends up getting that too. At this point, Rose completely loses it. This may be hard to believe, but this indeed was actually based off of a real-life event. Back in 2019, adult streamer
Okay. So, no, this is not the same person, though.
Would sell her own bathwater for $30 a jar, and she reportedly made over $90,000 off of it. And not only did SML use this as a free content idea, but
hey, would y'all buy my bathwater?
other YouTubers made ridiculous videos about it, such as classics like I vaped Belle Delphine's bathwater.
Oh, I thought that dude was about to drink the bathwater, bro. Like, don't do that.
Or trying Belle Delphine's bathwater.
Oh, he did drink it. Oh.
And other women later would capitalize off these weird ideas. As recently, in 2025, Sydney Sweeney announced that she's gonna start selling soap made purely out of her bathwater. People are really doing anything for money nowadays. Well,
I mean, shit, if it works, damn, don't knock the hustle. Shit.
That last video was definitely a really weird one. But let's go back to covering some serious topics. And that brings us to SML Movie John F. Kennedy. In this interesting video, Junior, Joseph, and Penelope are playing basketball while Cody dresses as a girl, and he goes on an anniversary trip with Ken to Dallas, Texas, while being driven by Jeffy, until Ken is suddenly shot and killed on the road. Cody goes back
headshot
home, and suspicion grows as Cody believes that either Junior or Joseph may be responsible for this. And after a video reveals the moment of the shooting, but not the shooter, Joseph is arrested and later shot by Timmy in revenge, leading to a crazy courtroom scene where Timmy is sentenced to death, but accidentally killed by Judge Poopy using his broken gavel. In the end, Junior heavily implies that he was the real killer all along, leaving Cody shocked and very mad. This video was
if you so mad, Cody, go home.
Very clearly based off the tragedy of John F. Kennedy. Kennedy was assassinated on November 22nd, 1965 in Dallas, Texas, while riding a motorcade in the city. Later on, the assassinator, Lee Harvey Oswald, would be arrested, and just 2 days later, Oswald would be shot and killed by an individual named Jack Ruby, while he was being transferred to a different jail. And fun fact, Kennedy is the reason why presidents can no longer drive by themselves anymore. The SML video told the story in a pretty
I didn't know Kennedy was driving by himself. Dang, that's actually crazy.
Decent way, with some plot changes like usual, but it was cool seeing SML cover a serious tragedy like this. However, now that we're on the topic of presidential tragedies, let's talk about SML Movie Junior gets his ear pierced. Basically, Junior wants to get his ear pierced to impress Penelope, but since Braxton won't allow it, he convinces Cody to shoot his ear from the roof with a—
Man, I wasn't allowed to get my ears pierced until I think I was in 7th grade. I wanted to get my ears pierced for a long time prior to that, and like my dad went overseas, he was deployed, so I kind of like, so I had my mom there. My mom usually said yes to a lot of things, so that was my chance of asking my mom if I could get my ears pierced, and she took me to get them done.
sniper rifle, but Cody would accidentally hit Donald Duck instead, and would also shoot Junior's other ear. After the piercing turned out to be the wrong ear, making Junior think people will assume he's gay, chaos continues as Cody is identified as the shooter and ends up in court, where Mickey and Goofy try to get revenge. In the end, both of Junior's ears are pierced by bullets. Now, if it wasn't already obvious, this incident is based off the assassination attempt of Donald Trump at one of his rallies on July 13th, 2024. His right ear was shot, and his head movement was the reason his life was saved. The SML video told the story in a—
I did not realize that, so if he didn't move his face, it would have been over with. Damn.
pretty decent way. And they even chose Cody as the shooter, most likely because he looks similar to the real shooter, Thomas—
That's the shooter? What the fuck? This is the last motherfucker you think would go shooting at the president, bruh.
Matthew Crooks. But what about SML movie Abraham Lincoln? In this video, Junior, Joseph, and Cody decide to go back in time to a theater, to the exact time that Abraham Lincoln got shot, and Cody ended up accidentally leaving Ken on Lincoln's dead body. This would cause everyone to believe that Ken was Abraham Lincoln, and got on the $5 bill and never ended up getting shot in history. Now, if it wasn't already obvious, this is based off the assassination of Abraham Lincoln on April 14th, 1865. Actor and Confederate supporter John Wilkes Booth shot and killed President Abraham Lincoln.
He was an actor? Man, he's an actor, but in, I guess in real life, he a little assassin at the same time.
Lincoln while he was watching a play called Our American Cousin at Ford Theater in Washington. Booth had a bigger plan to take out other top government officials too, but in the end, Lincoln was the only one he managed to kill. This assassination is one of, if not the most popular political assassinations in history, and SML did a pretty good job of retelling.
The president didn't even see it coming, bro. Got him right in the back of the head while he was... Honestly, if somebody's gonna take me out, do it while I'm not, like, in my sleep. Like, shoot me in my sleep, bro. I don't even want to see it coming, bro. Just get me, bro.
The story, besides some plot changes like usual. Now, speaking of killings, let's take a little detour from the whole presidential tragedy side of things and dive into something different. Next, we got SML movie Jeffy's pet Squirrel. In this one, a squirrel somehow manages to get into their house and start stealing peanuts from Chef Pee-Pee. Jeffy, of course, spots it and decides it'd make the perfect pet. He shows it off to everyone, but things go south when the squirrel bites Timmy. Timmy freaks out and runs off to Hank, who then calls the cops. The cops show up to Marvin's house and get ready to chop
Little snitch.
off the squirrel's head to test if it has rabies. But Marvin somehow convinces Brooklyn guy with a fake doctor's note saying that the squirrel's fine. Then, to no one's surprise, Marvin ends up catching rabies. Now, as goofy as the plot sounds, believe it or not, it's still based off a true story. There was an eastern gray squirrel found and rescued by an individual named Mark Longo in 2017. Mark found the squirrel because he was driving home from work one day, and he saw the squirrel's mother killed by a car in New York City. Mark would try to
Okay, let the squirrel be a squirrel. Them things are meant to be in the wild. What the fuck? Don't get me wrong, like the it was like a week and a half ago, I saved a kitten because it was in the car engine bay meowing its ass off. So I didn't want the kitten to, you know, get killed when the car turned on. So I ended up saving the kitten, and I ended up keeping the kitten for almost a week before it got adopted by someone else. But anyways, if I see a wild animal being stranded in a car engine like a squirrel, I'm not going to pay no mind to it. No cap.
find shelter for the squirrel, and he subsequently named the squirrel Peanut. But he was unsuccessful finding it a shelter, so he decided to take—
Just let it go in the wild. It will figure it out without its mama.
care of it and bottle feed it for 8 months. Then, after he decided that Peanut should be let back into the wild, just 1 day later, he would find Peanut on his porch with half of its tail missing. After this, he would
It's because now he's being raised as a house pet. A house pet is no longer can no longer really survive in the wild anymore. You kept the squirrel for too long. If you would have just left the squirrel to where it was, it would have figured it out. You feel me? The wildlife, the nature of life. You feel me?
Decided to keep Peanut and would even make an Instagram account for it.
Wow.
And the username was Peanut the Squirrel 12.
Damn near 1 million followers? What?
But the true story that this video was based on is that on October 30th, 2024, Peanut was taken by the New York authorities as they had suspicion that it had rabies, and unfortunately, they would kill Peanut the same day. And many people to this day want justice for Peanut. However, now that we're on the topic of...
Oh, that's so fucked up. I would be sad as hell if I rescued a pet, or not even a pet, a wildlife animal, just for the animal to be taken away however long later after you fall and get attached to the animal, bro, just for it to get killed.
Squirrel related things, let's talk about SML Movie The Acorn. This video starts off with Brooklyn Guy and Simmons being followed by a cop's camera crew during the routine patrol, where they would arrest Charlie for possible green stuff possession and would put him in the back
Green stuff possession.
of a cop car. Then
That Zaza.
an acorn falls on the car behind Brooklyn Guy, which would cause him to accidentally shoot 26 bullets at Charlie, confusing the acorn for a gunshot. However, Charlie didn't get hit by any of the bullets, so he sued, and Brooklyn Guy is stripped of his job. But later, he would want his job back, so he teams up with Marvin to track down a local serial killer, with Rose acting as bait. Brooklyn Guy would catch the criminal and get his job back thanks to Rose. Now, this video was actually really accurate to the real-life event linked behind this. On November 12th, 2023, 2 police officers named Jeffy Hernandez and Beth Roberts would open fire on an individual named Marquise Jackson because an acorn fell on the police car, and they would somehow mistake it for a gunshot.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
It's not funny, but funny, bro. This dude is literally falling on the ground, crawling and rolling, and shots fired, shots fired, shots over an acorn, bro. Once again, not funny. I get it. Like, you know, being a police officer, I can only imagine how scary it could be and things like that. You're always on edge. You feel me? But come on.
Shots fired! You know.
He said he's hit.
What? After that! In the car! I shot through the car!
Jackson would have literally 0 injuries and would put a lawsuit on the Oklahoma
So how did the cop get shot if he didn't open fire?
County Sheriff's Office in the middle of 2024. So the police were already getting backlash over Jackson's situation, but Wendy's wasn't exactly off the hook either, especially after the whole mess with their Krabby Patty meal. This brings us to SML Movie The Krabby Patty Meal. In this video, Junior and his friends are super
I remember when Wendy's did that. What was so special about the Krabby Patty meal? Because I never actually ate it. One thing I do want to try from Wendy's though is the Takis meal. I do want to try that, and I should probably try it soon before they take it off the menu.
excited when they see that Wendy's is offering the meal, and the promotion promised this awesome custom box to go with it. But when Chef Pee-Pee brings it back for them, it's just a regular bag, no special packaging in sight. Naturally, they decide to sue Wendy's, and the fast food chain assures them that the custom boxes will be available everywhere from now on. Now, the real-life event that this is tied to is more simple than you'd think. The video was simply making fun of how bad the meal truly was, and how much hate Wendy's was getting online for it. Many people hate
It doesn't look like it's anything special. It looks like just a regular burger with the regular shake and fries. Like,
it and thought they could do a better job. I honestly agree with you, Logan. The Wendy's Krabby Patty meal sucked, and I do think that McDonald's would do such a better job at doing the Krabby Patty meal. meal, and the plankton toy idea was pretty good as well. I agree. Looking back, the way Wendy's advertised the Krabby Patty collab and sold it as a complete ripoff, it could have done better if McDonald's sold the SpongeBob Krabby Patty meal. From the packaging to the quality of the food, maybe in the future, we'll see if they'll do it again with another fast food.
I feel like McDonald's is goated when it comes to doing any type of collabs. Like, they're really good when it comes to collabs. Yeah, like, to be honest, when I look at some of the things they do, I'm just like, okay, what's the big deal of this meal? Or like when the cactus meal or whatever came out, it's kind of like, okay, what's so special about it? Like, just because Travis Scott orders this and that and the other, that makes it the Travis Scott meal. And then I forgot who was it? I don't know if it was Megan Thee Stallion or whoever it was, but they came out with a meal for her, and I was like, bro, what makes it so special? Like, you feel me? That's the only thing about it. But other than that, McDonald's is pretty goated about it. Like, I do remember when they came out with those little figurines. I think that was during the time of the cactus meal. But they came out with those figurines. That was dope. They did the whole Pokemon thing. They're goated when it comes to shit like that, bro.
Chain, but definitely not Wendy's, like they already did. They were not even mentally prepared for the quality that they would have had, and even Logan posted a whole rant about it on the Chili channel, and let's just say he had some words for the meal.
So you're telling me that finally, SpongeBob collabs with a restaurant and says, you can sell the Krabby Patty, you can advertise the fuck out of it, you can make millions. And Wendy's like, oh, I know exactly how we're gonna do it. We're gonna just sell it in a regular fucking brown bag and say it's a Krabby Patty. People can eat that shit up because look, I ate it up. I ordered it.
Yeah, the meal definitely wasn't done correctly by Wendy's, but cruises make mistakes too. Just like the poop cruise.
This one, I mean, once again, not funny, but funny because this is all in the past anyway, so it is what it is, y'all. But it's crazy because I watched that documentary, like I think it was on Netflix or Hulu. I watched the documentary about that cruise, and they ended up doing the video about that, like, shortly after I watched the documentary. It was funny as fuck. But...
No, I'm not even kidding. The Poop Cruise. And SML Movie The Poop Cruise represents the story in a good and a funny way. In this video, Junior, Joseph, and Cody watch a wild documentary about the infamous Poop Cruise from 2013, where the engine failure caused a massive toilet disaster. The captain told passengers to start pooping in the sinks and showers. Obviously, that didn't go well, and many people ended up getting stuck in the poop and tragically died. After watching this mess, Junior and his friends get the very dumb idea to create their own poop cruise in the pool, which somehow ends up making them $2,000. Now, the real life
Birkin guy's dumbass
event of this did happen. However, it went a little differently. This occurred on the cruise called Carnival Triumph. So on February 10th, 2013, at 5:30 a.m., the ship had a fire in the engine room at the back of the boat. Luckily, the fire was quick to put out and no one got hurt, but it caused a major issue. There was
I think they were stuck at sea for a week.
No power, and as a result, raw sewage started backing up into the passenger decks, turning everything into a huge health code nightmare.
I would never get back on a boat again if this happened to me, bruh.
The media had a field day with it, and ended up calling it the Poop Cruise. In the real version of the story, no one would actually die from the incident, but it turned the fun cruise trip into a living nightmare. But what about SML Movie The Spy Balloon? It starts off with Jeffy, Junior, and Cody just messing around, when they accidentally shoot down a Chinese spy balloon with a toy rocket. Somehow, they end up getting award medals of honor for it, but here's where it gets crazy. They're made part of the missile defense team, and the chief, who is clearly not the brightest, decides to turn off all the satellites and detection systems, and talk trash to China on international news. Why? Because he thinks Junior, Jeffy, and Cody are, like, superhuman or something? Naturally, things go south. China launches a nuke, and it ends up hitting San Francisco. In the end, the boys lose their medals.
Damn.
Now, this video was actually based off a true story, and basically, from January 28th to February 4th, 2023, a Chinese high-altitude balloon flew across North America, drifting over Alaska, Western Canada, and much of the US mainland. On February 4th, the US Air Force shot down the balloon off the coast of South Carolina, in US territorial waters. The wreckage was recovered and sent to the FBI's lab for further analysis. By June, preliminary findings revealed that the balloon had intelligence gathering equipment president on board, but it didn't seem to have transmitted any data back to China. President Joe Biden later
That's interesting. I didn't know that took place. That's crazy.
described that the spy balloon's gear as being roughly the size of 2 railroad cars, though he downplayed it as not a major breach. He also
Oh, that was a big balloon then. I'm thinking it's one of those, like, it's just a regular size balloon. We're talking about it. Man, that's like a hot air balloon, bruh.
suggested that China's leadership
How did China think they were gonna get away with that? It's obvious, you feel me?
may not have been fully aware of the balloon's mission. Now, obviously, it wasn't shot down with a toy rocket, but like in usual SML fashion, they added their own touch to make it goofy and interesting. SML is the only channel that can make a video about something real and make it sound fake. The fact that they recreated a real situation that's happening right now. Now, if you think
I didn't even know about that. Man, I need to start watching the news more, bruh.
that video based off a real-life event was goofy, this one might be goofier. In SML Movie The President's book, it starts with Junior, Joseph, and Cody getting caught up in a wild conspiracy from Dr. Finkelshitz about 9/11 being planned for years before it happened. And in their quest for proof, they decide that they need the President's Book of Secrets to confirm the truth. After a ridiculous plan involving McDonald's and a fake kidnapping of Donald Trump, they manage to steal the book, only to be caught by Donald Trump himself, who demands it back. They briefly glance at what's in there, uncovering bizarre secrets like Harriet Tubman inventing twerking. But before they can dive deeper into the 9/11 mystery, Trump...
I wonder who actually did invent twerking, bro. Like, just think about it, because I remember, like, I mean, throughout middle school, and I don't really remember twerking in high school. I mean, I'm sure it happened because we had the red nose. If you guys know what the red nose is, that was the red nose.
proclaims the book, leaving them with a TikTok ban as punishment. However, the real-life event tied to this video is rather simple. It's based off of how people have always wondered and have made theories about what continents the President's Book of Secrets truly has. Obama even talked about this in an interview on August 29th, 2009, and he said, "I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you." To this
So that Book of Secrets, it gets passed down to each president. That's crazy. Now I'm curious about what's in that book.
this day, no one ever knows what the continents of this book is, and we probably never will. However, the story tied to SML movie Goodman sues Starbucks isn't much of a secret. In this video, Marvin, Rose, and Jeffy get into a chaotic situation where Jeffy insists on having Scooby-Doo snacks, which Marvin refuses to provide, leading to a messy scene with jelly beans on the red couch. The situation escalates after Marvin watches the news about a man winning $50 million for spilling hot coffee on himself, prompting Goodman to pour a Starbucks drink on him.
So that was an actual real deal situation, real life situation. Somebody actually did sue Starbucks for millions. That's crazy.
In an attempt to get the same payout, the legal antics continue as Goodman sues Starbucks, eventually winning the case. And Marvin, inspired by the lawsuit, decides to try and replicate the stunt, only to end up with room temperature coffee and no payout, while Starbucks decides to only sell room temperature coffee to avoid further lawsuits. Now, when it comes to the true story, it wasn't much different. Back in 2020, a delivery driver named Michael Garcia was just picking up drinks in a drive-thru in Los Angeles when disaster struck. As he was getting drinks, one of them spilled on his lap, causing some pretty severe burns and nerve damage. And it ended up leaving my boy with a disfigurement down there. It was seriously painful and—
Oh, that's tough. Oh, man. But that's not Starbucks' fault, though. At the end of I mean, I guess if she didn't put the cups all the way into the cup thing, but yeah, I guess I could see how it was Starbucks' fault. But damn, I know this lady definitely got fired, bruh.
pretty much a life-altering incident, and he ended up suing Starbucks, and just recently in March 2025, he got paid out $50 million by Starbucks. Now, another situation—
Shit, that's definitely a good payout, but shit, your junk don't work now either? Well, hopefully some of that money can get some surgery done, get that little man jumping again. You feel me?
That may be just as controversial is the one shown in SML Movie The Volleyball Game. It started off by Junior and Joseph hanging out on the red couch playing a game of Seen It, where Penelope gets upset about not making the girls' volleyball team, sparking an argument with Junior over women's competition history. To prove a point, Junior gathers Joseph, Cody, and Jeffy to play against the volleyball team in a tournament, with Brooklyn Guy as their coach. After some intense gameplay, the boys win by default, and it's revealed that one of the girls, Wilma, is actually a guy, causing the girls' team to be disqualified, leaving Junior to brag until Penelope points out that he didn't outscore them. This video is referring to the controversies regarding transgender athletes being able to compete alongside non-transgender athletes in sports, and how the government is trying to make rules out of this. Most people out there don't support this and speak their minds out on free speech apps like Reddit.
How do you guys feel about it? I really don't. I don't feel like it should be mixed. It's unfair at the end of the day. I don't care what nobody says. If you were born as a man, you are always going to have those man genetics within your body. Like, that's just hormones or whatever the case may be. But going against women that don't have the men hormones and strength and genetics or whatever the case may be, it's just unfair. That's my opinion,
It
though.
shouldn't be the government's place to decide who can play and who can't play. It should be the sports bodies themselves. Now, that was one of the more controversial ones, but thankfully, SML Movie Brooklyn Guy's Ball isn't anywhere near as controversial. The video starts off by Karen discovering that their bills are overdue, but Brooklyn Guy just brushes it off, showing her a football that he claims is Tom Brady's Super Bowl touchdown ball. After trying to pawn it and being told it's worthless due to an Antonio Brown signature, Brooklyn Guy goes on a chaotic mission to get Tom Brady to sign it, eventually resorting to kidnapping him with Marvin's help. Though Tom Brady eventually signs the ball with an insult, Brooklyn Guy is unfazed, and later proudly shows the signed ball to Karen. While the news reports that Tom sold the Super Bowl jersey, Brooklyn Guy threatened him for $2 million. Now, the true story tied to this is rather simple. It's simply about Logan wanting to get his football with an Antonio Brown signature, signed by Tom Brady, and the real-life event that ties to this is that Antonio Brown and Tom Brady absolutely hate each other, but during Logan's $800,000 charity dinner with Tom Brady, he actually got it signed. But while that real-life event was pretty simple to say the least, the real-life event for SML Movie Jeffy the
I did not realize that, bro. That's funny, man.
Boxer is not as simple as you may think. In this video, Junior, Jeffy, Cody, and Joseph are watching the news when they hear that Floyd Mayweather made $100 million for fighting Logan Paul. Junior then gets the wild
Talk about a bag, bro.
idea to film Jeffy knocking out 50 people to get Mayweather's attention. Jeffy goes on a full-out knockout spree, taking down Joseph, Chef Pee-Pee, Cody's parents, Junior's dad, a celebrity, and his own parents, and even the news anchor.
Hey, Jeffy, you can't fight me, my boy. You can't win over me, my boy.
Before finally reaching 50 by knocking out the audience watching the video, Junior calls a promoter hoping to get a Jeffy fight with Mayweather, but ends up landing a match with undefeated D Money. Jeffy surprisingly wins and earns $100 million, only for Goodman to sue them for that exact amount, leaving Junior wanting to start the whole thing over. Now, if it wasn't already clear, this video is based off all the fights that were happening back in 2021 with Jake Paul.
The prime of the YouTubers fighting or boxing in the ring. I ain't gonna lie, when that all first started, bro, man, it was lit. Now we hear about a YouTube boxing event, we're just like, okay, it is what it is. Like, I don't care to watch it anymore. Like, it is what it is.
Specifically, Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. So back on December 6, 2020, Logan Paul and Mayweather agreed to
Got your hat.
face off in an exhibition match that was originally set for February 20th, 2021, but it ended up getting pushed back and actually happened on June 6, 2021. At the Hard Rock Stadium down in Miami Gardens. Now, when the fight ended, no
I definitely tuned into this fight. This was a big deal, at least to me. But like I said, now if a fight takes place, I don't feel pressed to go watch it or pay-per-view it or anything like that. It's just one of those things. I'll just watch the highlights after it's over with. You feel me?
official winner was actually announced, but Mayweather had some good words to say about Jake Paul. Mayweather said he was better than I thought he was. He was a tough, rough competitor. Then, for the rest of 2021, Jake would have 3 other fights, 2 with Tyron Woodley, and 1 with Ben Askren, and Jake would win all of them. That was a pretty crazy fight history coming from Jake. But why don't we take a trip down memory lane and go back to 2018 and talk about SML Movie Junior's bad news. The video kicks off.
Man, I used to work for Toys R Us when I was 18 years old. I worked for Toys R Us. That same Toys R Us that they're filming, that's the same exact one that I worked at. I actually worked there before the grand opening. I was a part of the crew that cut the ribbon to the store for the grand opening. So rest in peace to that store, because that store is no longer around. That store would, bro, I kid you not.
Off with Junior playing his Megazord toy in the kitchen. But when he leaves to use the bathroom, he asks Chef Pee-Pee to watch it, only for my boy Chef Pee-Pee to immediately break it. Junior comes back,
Shaking my
finds his
head.
toy destroyed, throws a tantrum, and then demands a replacement, leading Chef Pee-Pee to take him to Toys R Us, only for
That same exact stove. No care.
them to discover it's permanently closed, leaving Junior devastated. This would cause Junior to try to protest, and even make a song about saving Toys R Us.
Why? I missed your toys. It always felt like Christmas. Oh.
I remember for the first 3 days of the grand opening, they had me dressed up as Strawberry Shortcake, like the actual costume, and it had the big Strawberry Shortcake head. Yeah, I was that guy. If you guys were there during the grand opening, yep, that was me in the Strawberry Shortcake. And if you guys remind me, put it in the comment section. Remind me. I'll do a story time. I got pictures of me in the Strawberry Shortcake thing. I got pictures of me with the crew cutting the ribbon to the store, bro. I kid you not, bro.
I wish I could.
A lot of memories at that store.
All the toys in the store. Every single toy in the store. But you lost all your money and now you're poor. And now you're poor. Really,
Now
really
you're poor.
So very poor. Had to close your door. Toys R Us no more.
2 weeks later,
Well, fuck them at the same time, because they slowly taking hours away from me to where I was pretty much forced to just quit. They didn't fire me. I just quit because they stopped giving me hours, bro.
after failing to make money with the Saving Toys R Us song, Junior and his friends accept defeat and go to Walmart instead, still chanting, "We want toys," on the way out. Now, the real story behind this video is pretty straightforward. It's all about how Toys R Us officially shut down worldwide in 2018, and a lot of people were heartbroken that there wouldn't be a dedicated toy store anymore. The main reason it happened was because the company filed for bankruptcy that year. As part of the process, they had to close every store in the US to meet the terms of the bankruptcy agreement. The whole situation was pretty sad for a lot of people, but SML Movie Jeffy Competes in the Olympics is very different. The video starts off with Jeffy annoying Marvin using a bubble blaster, eventually
Bubble Blast has his dick.
leading to a comment about Jeffy only being fit for the Special Olympics, which Jeffy takes as inspiration and sets off the join. Meanwhile, Junior and his friends hear about Jeffy's plans, and despite Cody explaining what the Special Olympics actually are, Junior and Joseph fake injuries just to win gold medals. They end up getting really hurt, but Brooklyn Guy decides to form a team with them anyway, and takes them to the actual Paris Olympics, only to realize it's too late and that they're up against real pros, like LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Michael Phelps, instead of other disabled athletes.
Michael Phelps, I forgot that was taking place.
After
Yo.
being completely crushed in basketball and swimming, Jeffy pulls off a miracle tie in a race against Usain Bolt, earning the team a single gold medal. Now, the real life inspiration behind this video is actually pretty cool, and it ties into a few different events. For one, it highlights the 2024 Paris Olympics, and touches on how some Paralympic athletes can also compete in the regular Olympics. A standout example is Bruna Alexandre, a table tennis player who made history as the first athlete to compete in both the Paralympics and the Olympics. Fun
Interesting.
fact, she lost her right arm as a baby, Douggee, which is why she initially competed in the Paralympics. But since table tennis only really requires one hand, she decided to take on the challenge of the main Olympic stage too. This was all pretty impressive.
That's actually dope as hell. That's a dope story.
But what Douggee did to Marvin in SML Movie Dougie's Fried Chicken Cheetos was nowhere near impressive at all. In this video, Marvin thought he was getting dinner, but Rose gave him pizza rolls instead. And while he was choking on one, Douggee asked him for $500 just so he wouldn't have to get a job. Then, Douggee ends up wanting to get some rare fried chicken Cheetos instead, which sends Marvin on a wild adventure involving secret calls, Chester Cheetah snorting Cheetos, and a ridiculous trade offer from a rich guy named Prince Abu Dhabi, who wants Rose or someone to slob his knob. In the end, Chester agrees to be Abu Dhabi's pet and slob on his knob in exchange for the Cheetos. And when Douggee finally gets one singular Cheeto, he hates it and says he'd rather just have the $500. Now, when
that part, just give me the cash.
it comes to the real life event, it's actually pretty self-explanatory. Basically, these fried chicken Cheetos are very rare and are only really available in the Middle East. And they actually end up not even liking the taste of fried chicken, according to Lance.
It doesn't really have it. It's like not fried chicken. It's very European. It's freaking weird. What does it taste like?
I don't know. I think because I smell the coffee, I taste the coffee.
Many people definitely
I don't know. I feel like I would have to try it. I gotta try it at this point. You feel me?
didn't expect that outcome when it came to the fried chicken Cheetos. However, people probably did expect the outcome for SML Movie The Rigged Game. In this video, Tom Brady was jealous that the Buccaneers are thriving without him, so he asks Marvin to sabotage their playoff game against the Lions. Marvin calls on Brooklyn Guy for help, and Brooklyn Guy sneaks into the Buccaneers locker room and pulls off a series of wild stunts, like buttering Mike Evans' gloves, putting lice in Baker Mayfield's helmet, and even drugging their Gatorade, while secretly juicing up a Lions player's jersey for good measure. The plan works and the Bucks lose, but when Marvin and Brooklyn Guy try to cash in on their $1 million bet, they realize that the casino never confirmed the deal, leaving them with nothing. Now, the true story for this video is really simple. Basically, the Buccaneers actually did lose against the Lions 31-23, and this would cause the Lions to move on to the NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. However, an alternative ending was filmed for this if the results were the other way around, and it was posted to Lance's channel.
Wow, the Lions actually lost.
Everything we did backfired. Nobody wanted to tackle Mike Evans because he smelled like shit, and Bakey McFuckballs already had lice. And that was the Lions Gatorade I put Miralax and piss in.
Donovan Peoples-Jones didn't even play. He was just raged up on steroids on the sidelines.
And the Lion did attack the Lions players. He couldn't even tell the difference.
I can't believe you guys fucked this up. I lost so much money because of you guys. And now, I'm not even gonna put your balls in a blender. I'm just gonna chomp on them with my molars like I'm eating a pistachio.
That's fair. Well, you guys really...
That's fair. You really want to do that, Goodman?
Fucked this up for me. I was having a good time kissing my son, but now the Buccaneers are going to the NFC Championships and I look like a pussy.
I'm sorry, Tom Brady. This is the worst day ever. Tom Brady hates us, and our balls are gonna get chomped on.
Now, the real-life event for this video may not have been the most interesting, but the real-life event in SML Movie Brooklyn Guy's ear problem is far more interesting. The video kicks off with Brooklyn Guy getting super hyped after winning an online auction for Evander Holyfield's bitten off ear, but the package gets destroyed in a UPS plane crash, along with hundreds of others, when it crashes into a children's hospital. And my boy Brooklyn Guy cares more about the missing ear than the tragedy itself. Furious, he demands the auction house to give him Holyfield's other ear,
I ain't gonna lie, I'd be bad too.
Tyson bites it off again, and even gets legal permission to do it himself after the other judge offers him a bizarre 24-hour pass. With Marvin's help, Brooklyn Guy tracks down Holyfield at Applebee's, disguises himself as a waiter, and after making a bunch of cringy ear puns, he finally bites off the other ear mid-meal. He returns triumphant, but still disappointed, since it's not the iconic ear that Tyson bit off, and breaks down when he realizes that he doesn't have a certificate to prove it's legit. Now, if the story wasn't clear enough already, this video was based off how Mike
definitely very clear.
Tyson bit off Evander Holyfield's ear on June 28th, 1997.
Bruh, like at this point, we all knew what this video is about.
WBA Heavyweight Championship rematch, and all of this was caught on national television.
Oh, and some nasty stuff in there. There needs to be a bite almost. field is very unhappy. Look at this. It looked as if Tyson bared his teeth at one stage in the exchange.
Yes,
Hit his ear.
He bit his ear. That's what Holyfield was in. A lot of pain from that. You see the blood on the ear. That was definitely a bite.
There was definitely a bite.
Now, because of this incident, Tyson got disqualified from the match and got his boxing license revoked.
Damn, he was fined $3 million for, damn.
But he didn't get charged for this. However, now that we're on the topic of athletes doing dumb things, that brings us to SML Movie Brooklyn Guy Tries to Help. So, it all kicks off with Brooklyn Guy being super depressed, because the Miami Heat are losing, and their star player, Jimmy Butler, is out with an injury. And worse, he's more into coffee than basketball. Karen suggests fixing Jimmy's leg, which leads Brooklyn Guy to a wild attempt at getting Jimmy off his coffee addiction by dragging him into an Addictions Anonymous, where they meet characters like Ronald McDonald, Chester Cheetah.
Ronald definitely needs to be in AA.
With all of their bizarre issues, despite the rehab attempts and even a training montage, Jimmy just can't quit coffee, and he even ends up bathing in it, saying it's more meaningful than the game. In the end, Brooklyn Guy loses hope, and in a dramatic twist, he shoots Jimmy by a lake so that he can live forever in a coffee-filled paradise, leaving Brooklyn Guy broken and sobbing at home. Now,
Brooklyn Guy be doing the most, I swear.
The true story to this is simply how Jimmy Butler actually has a coffee obsession, and it isn't made up for these videos. His coffee journey started in the 2020 NBA Bubble series, where he would sell coffee out of his hotel room to his teammates for 20 bucks a cup. After this, bro made coffee
20 bucks a cup?
A part of his whole routine. While he's on the road, Butler kicks off his day by having breakfast and coffee with his performance coach. Then swings by a local coffee shop for another cup right after. Once he's back in his room, he brews a fresh one using his big face travel kit. After grabbing lunch and hitting up a team meeting, it's time for coffee again. And before the game, he has one more meal, and of course, another cup to top it off. All of this caused Butler to start his own coffee brand called Big Face Coffee.
Damn, he really has an obsession with coffee. I mean, nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's something to do outside of basketball, your career. You feel me? Like, I feel hopefully he looks at his coffee career as his side career, but yeah, that's dope though.
He has one official shop in Miami, Design District, Florida. Jimmy Butler definitely has quite the odd obsession. But staying on the topic of Brooklyn Guy videos, we have SML Movie Brooklyn Guy's Sad Day. The video starts off with Brooklyn Guy skipping Beyonce's birthday party because he's mourning the anniversary of Steve Irwin's death, which upsets Beyonce and somehow gets the president involved, who publicly calls for people to punch him in the face. After getting hit by multiple people, including Jeffy, Marvin, and even Chef Pee Pee with a frying pan, Brooklyn Guy finally decides to go party with Karen and eat their half-eaten cookie cake. At the party, he gets insulted by Drake and was told that no one wants him there, but finally he gets a chance to talk to Beyonce, who surprises him by saying she also honors Steve Irwin every year instead of celebrating her birthday. Relieved and touched, Brooklyn Guy realizes she gets it after all, and they both agree it's time to party in Steve Irwin's honor. Now, this plot is definitely all over the place, but it still has a true story tied to it. This video is referencing the death of Steve Irwin.
I remember the day when this happened. I was only a little kid, so it didn't really affect me. Obviously, I was like, oh my god, the crocodile hunter died? But it affected my mom, I remember, bruh. My mom was emotional about it.
Steve Irwin was known as a popular crocodile hunter, and he died on September 4th, 2006, after being pierced in the chest by a single stingray barb, while filming a documentary called Ocean's Deadliest in the Great Barrier Reef. It would strike his heart,
literally filming Ocean Deadliest. And you end up dying filming it. That's crazy.
Causing massive trauma and immediate cardiac arrest. He was only 44 years old during his time of death, and SML uploaded this exactly 18 years after he died. This video was referencing a very sad topic. However, for football fans, the true story in SML Movie The Retirement was very sad for them too. The video starts with Junior, Joseph, and Cody eating Lunchables when Chef Pee Pee freaks out after—
I ain't gonna lie. the Lunchable sandwiches, those are actually pretty good now that I think about it. I forgot they had those. Anytime I get a Lunchable, I always get the pizza or the crackers, bro.
Here's the news that Tom Brady is retiring, calling him a god and spiraling into a meltdown. After stuffing his face with bread and trying to eat a Tom Brady book, Chef Pee-Pee ends up in a mental hospital, where Brooklyn Guy joins him in grief, even saying he'd rather lose his wife than Tom Brady. Junior tries everything to stop Tom Brady from retiring, including offering him $7.75, but nothing works, and they give up. Suddenly, Brooklyn Guy rushes them off to the hospital, saying Chef Pee-Pee is in a coma from the heartbreak, and the episode ends with Chef Pee-Pee somehow involved in a weird kissing threesome. Now, if it wasn't already clear, the real-life event for this video is related to Tom Brady retiring. This video was uploaded on February 6, 2022, and in 2022, he initially announced that he was retiring, but he ended up deciding to stay for one more season and would officially retire on February 1st, 2023, at the ripe age of 47 years old. This decision was reportedly behind
now it's time to just live life and relax.
Divorce from his now ex-wife, Gazelle Butchin. And best believe, many fans were shocked and sad about this. It's sad that Brady is retiring. Hats off for him and his football team. Can't believe Tom Brady is retired. Now, speaking of retired people, let's talk about SML Movie Junior the boxer. This video kicks off with Cody bragging over a board game called Grouch Couch. But then, Junior and his friends get quickly distracted by a wild TV commercial, offering people a chance to win $100 million or lose it to charity by boxing none other than Mike Tyson.
Man, I know I'd lose, but I would try, especially if 100 mils on the line. Hell yeah, I'm there.
Junior decides to enter the raffle, and of course, his name gets picked, which leads to his friends warning him that he'll literally die if he goes through with it. Despite training in a short montage, Junior steps into the ring with Mike Tyson and gets knocked out cold twice, nearly losing his ear in the process. While Brooklyn Guy barely manages to drag him back home in one piece, in the end, Junior doesn't win any money. Now, when we bring up Mike Tyson boxing in the year of 2024, it's pretty obvious what the real event of this video is tied to. It's referencing the very bizarre and unfair Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. It all started with Jake Paul calling out Mike Tyson for a fight on July 21st, 2024.
Mike Tyson, you're next, big boy. Sign the contract November 15th on Netflix. I'm excited for that one. I'm gonna go home prepare for that.
Then everyone would patiently wait until November 15th, when the fight would finally occur, and everyone knows what the outcome of
I tuned in for this one too, because how much of a hype it was.
This fight was. Mike Tyson would unfortunately lose, and Jake Paul won. But let's be honest, that fight was nowhere near fair. Alright, well, there we have it. Those were all the SML videos.
Well, that's gonna be the video for y'all, man. If you guys ended up making it to the very, very end, please let me know down in the comment section, man. I know this is like an hour-long reaction, which I don't typically do, but you know, we here. Hey man, smash the like button, leave a comment, click that bell while you're at it. Till next time, I'm gonna see y'all next time. I'm out.